Are you a hardworking dad, juggling family responsibilities while dreaming of building wealth through real estate? Welcome to the Invested Fathers Podcast, where we explore how to balance investing and fatherhood. I'm your host, Kenny Johnson, founder of East West Capital. Over the past 5 years, I've been buying real estate to free up my time and secure my family's future. Now I'm here to help you do the same. Join me as we navigate the real estate world together, building wealth and strengthening our families. As my grandma always said, East West, home's best. Welcome back to our next episode. Last episode, we entered part 1 of my origin story. We talked about how I was young and energetic while also lost and confused regarding what I wanted to do with my life. In this episode, we'll continue down the rabbit hole with hopes that our young Kenny will find some way or somebody to help point him in the right direction. Let's dive in. I had turned 30, and it was one of those moments that I don't know if you guys have experienced this or not, but out of body almost perspective glimpse into what is your life. And for some reason, 30 just rocked me. I was like, wow, the 20s are gone. What's my life going to be like when I turn 40? So I'm looking back, thinking of what I've accomplished, and I start realizing this is the time to make a change. This is a breakthrough moment. You know that feeling when you're in bed, your morning alarm goes off, you've hit snooze like 3 times, and you're lying there saying to yourself, man, I wish I didn't have to go to work today. But you just do because there's this voice in your head that says, you have to do this. You're too tired to try something else. You're too scared to risk leaving your security and try something different. You need this job. And the fear of the unknown or being rejected or failing is too much. Maybe one day it will magically just get better. Well, I'd heard that voice too many times, and I was ready to say enough. My why was finally getting big enough to take action. Simon Sinek, another author, wrote a book called Start with Why. Simply put, the author says, figure out your why, and if it matters enough to you and is big enough, use that to drive you to make happen whatever it is you need to make happen in your life. An important truth I will also emphasize here is that God was and still is, even today, working out a master plan of goodness in my life. I didn't share this in the last episode. I'm a believer and follower of Jesus Christ, who is my Lord and Savior, and I would be completely mistaken to share my origin story without giving praise to God and His love and grace and joy to me and my family and guide me through this time where I was figuring everything out. Let's look at financially the status of my life. My wife and I were actually living very comfortably. Bills are being paid, no huge financial struggles. So you could ask yourself, why are you rocking the boat now? I can actually remember when my wife and I decided to spend some money on a home repair. Been working hard. We were saving. Not going to say I'm frugal, but there was a lot of, let's not spend anything. Let's just keep saving. And my wife wanted to fix up things. And I was like, no, let's just save that. Well, there was a rotten beam on our front porch. And I said, you know what? Let's get some quotes to fix this up. So we fixed it up. And what I had felt like was a good savings in the bank account pretty quickly got swiped out in one fell swoop. And that was very depressing. My story of leaving the job and risking all of this is not something I was ready to just plunge into without a plan. I knew I wanted to change in regards to my time and freedom and future. So I was finally ready to make something happen and make a plan. About this same time, I was very fortunate to have a conversation with my friend AJ regarding real estate and buying rentals. We went to a movie one night, and at the end of the movie, he says, I'm going to start buying rentals. And I can remember distinctly telling him, do not do that. My dad has some rental properties, and it's nothing but a headache. You don't want to get involved in that. It's a lot of work, and it's not passive income. However, as I look back, it seemed insignificant at the time, but there was an important seed that was planted in my head that maybe there's a way to use real estate as a plan B that might one day become a plan A in my career path. I had read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and these themes of the book kept hitting me over and over. Employee mindset versus investor mindset. Working for money versus your money working for you. Earning passive income. Freedom of time. No risk, no reward. And all these things and ideas had been running through my mind until AJ and I stumbled upon a Rich Dad, Poor Dad legacy education Saturday morning free seminar. It's a few hours. They brought a speaker to basically say, hey, I was an average Joe like you all, and now I'm a millionaire, and you guys can be too if you just follow what we say. A couple of weeks later, they had a weekend conference that I somehow convinced my wife to let me go to. This was like a Friday night, all day Saturday, and Sunday morning thing. I feel like my time was already super strapped, but it felt like this is what needs to happen. The why was speaking loud. And boom, let the real estate investor floodgates open. My mind was opened. I did not sign up for their training in this conference, but I told myself, I'm gonna take a bet on myself. I'm gonna give myself 6 months of trying to figure this thing out through YouTube, audiobooks, local meetups, etc. And if I fail in 6 months, I can always call these people back and say, hey, help me. However, after 6 months, I had actually landed my first property I had under contract. How did I do this? Short answer is I took action. I wrote letters and one of them worked. The owner calls me and says, hey, I'll sell you my house, which I quickly reached out to the network of people I had been meeting through these local meetups and said, help. And they helped me, the newbie investor, and I was facing this stuff head on. I decided to name my new business East West Property Solutions. As you may have heard in the podcast intro, East West Capital is another business I have. I got that name from Grandma Moses, my grandma, who's no longer with us, but she would say this over and over again, East West Home's best. She was a dear lady who I'll always remember, and I appreciate this truth of no matter where you go, home is the best. Now, what have I been able to accomplish in the real estate world? I'll list a few of my accomplishments, which I am putting in quotes because I have so far to go, but I've made over 20 transactions of real estate deals, a mixture of rentals, fix and flips, wholesales, commercial deals. I have 6 single-family home rentals. I have 2 commercial properties. I have 1 commercial multifamily mixed space in Colorado, and I have 1 luxury short-term rental with a team in Texas. But what else have I been able to accomplish beyond my career in real estate? This is the stuff that matters. I have a strong and healthy relationship with my wife and 2 kids. I know a majority of my neighbors from spending time outside with my kids and intentionally trying to get to know my neighbors by helping and serving them. I'm an officer in my church, and I've been in a men's Bible group for over probably 3 years that we meet once a week and just go over Bible and things we're learning about. I'm in a mastermind group with amazing connections to go over any issue or topic that you can think of in real estate. I'm going to have some friends connected through that. And over the last 12 months, I've been working on my health with some friends in the early morning, about 5:20, about 4 days a week, to keep my health and nutrition a priority in my life. I'm all about my family and my relationships and my church and my health. And all these things line up with my values being the best dad and the best husband I can be. My key takeaway for all of you, in light of everything we heard about my origin here, is don't go on life's journey alone and take action. Get your head out of the sand, remove the excuses in your life of things just being too hard. Start with that why, and connect with people that can help you reach your goals as you help them reach their goals. You will need friends, supporters, coaches, mentors, partners, and I would say most importantly, your spouse to help you achieve your goals. Some of my fears and doubts came from people knowing that I didn't have everything together, people knowing that I was searching or lost or feeling stuck. I didn't want anyone to know that there was weakness there. That ended up being one of the turning points in how I was able to get out of that, was letting that go. I knew I needed to take action and make a change, but aren't we all looking to grow and develop in some way? Connect with someone in your life today that can help you take action and move forward in whatever it is you're trying to get better at. Let that push you to be a better person every day. Happy Father's Day to all my dads out there. You have one of the most important jobs there is, leading your family. Thank you for your faithfulness to your family. And I'm a strong believer that if we can lead our families well, love our wives, take care of our kids, that will infiltrate the entire world, going to our neighborhoods and our churches and our workplaces. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening today, and I'll see you on the next episode. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Invested Fathers Podcast. If you liked this episode, we would love for you to click subscribe and leave us a 5-star review. We appreciate all of your hard work as a father and look forward to our next episode together.